massive, biggest win in Havas history, interviews, another pitch, just everything kind of popping up. I don't know what it is about this week. So thanks for your flexibility.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm William Taylor of Brand New Business. And today, we'll be speaking with Laura Maness, the CEO of Havas New York.
This video series, the Brand New Business video series, is exploring the effect that branding has on new business development. And as the CEO of an advertising agency and a branding agency who came up through new business, you're right out of central casting. So what's even more impressive is that your efforts, which we're going to talk about more in detail, have led to unprecedented growth for the agency. At a certain point, you had a greater than 70% win rate, which is phenomenal, 20 to 30% organic growth across existing business. So these are great numbers. I think you're making it look easy, but I don't think it is easy. So that's what I was hoping we could jump into some of this a little bit more in detail to talk about the parts that are difficult, that are not easy. Let's do that. And since this is brand new business and we're talking about branding's impact on business, you have an innovative way of branding your agency. You're actually branding your culture. And so I haven't heard of that before. Maybe you could just tell me a bit more about that.
Sure. It is genuinely a point of difference. And I know every agency likes to talk about, their culture being the thing that differentiates them from the pack. And our global CEO, Chris Hurst, likes to say all the time, we're all just people in buildings. Things that differentiate us are our culture and our talent.
How does a culture become a brand? What is the demarcation line between making something great as a culture, which is one thing, and then using that culture to be a part of your new business development, be a part of your brand in the marketplace?
Sure. It's been my experience that the strongest brands are built on a premise and an intention that is experienced. And it's something that is, like I said, evidenced in every single interaction that you have with a company. And no matter where you enter the equation or the ecosystem, in the most non-linear format that is, you start to have the same kind of feeling and takeaway because it all maps back to an intention that is set. And when that ambition and that North Star is clear, no matter what your role is, what your subject matter expertise is, where you sit within the company in terms of the matrix or what region you're in, you can immediately play back why you get out of bed in the morning and what this company's place in the world is and how your contributions are making a meaningful difference to what that ambition is in whatever capacity that is. And the strength and the truth of that brand has to be evidenced in the culture. It has to be felt. The culture is not a poster and some slick design and a set of credentials and a sharp narrative and the things that you say. But those decisions that you make together and that you feel your way through and that you can hold up and show instead of tell what your point of view is, that's when I think you can really feel the culture.
What I'm hearing is the strategy of having your culture be your brand could potentially be a brand for any service firm, but it's not going to work if it's not true to the agency.
That's right.
And so the effort in developing the brand isn't developing words or PowerPoint slides, but it's developing people and developing the cultures.
When I took the helm here at the flagship as the CEO, I'll never forget sitting across from Yannick with his 3 asks. And it was, don't lose any clients because it's bad for my health.
Right. Right.
Do things that have never been done before.
Right.
Innovate relentlessly. We love industry firsts. And hire diverse talent, not necessarily youth, but really look for unconventional ways to bring people into this industry to fuel our creativity. We are playing the long game. This is a fifth generation, family owned. We are not traded here and living and dying by the street and the quarter and making short-term decisions that compromise what's right for a client. It's a very client-centric network that is taking the long view. And what that enables to us as leaders is really to just do what's right.
Where does the brand come in a new business context?
We are walking into a room, and oftentimes I think the branding challenge that we have is Havas, the holding company. Wait, Havas is the agency. Hang on, Vivendi is the world's largest entertainment company and the ownership structure. What is the brand Havas, right? It starts with those shared values, and we go in and communicate the intellectual property, the operational mechanisms, and the village, which is all the capabilities under one roof, one P&L, really the ability to have agility at scale and reconfigure ourselves as needs shift and change. But meaning and relevance is really the catalyst for growth. And every new business pitch,
Right.
every client challenge, no matter what's specified and what the priority is,
Right.
the underlying task is to unlock growth.
Oh, that's great.
You know that expression, put your own oxygen mask on, and then you can help out others.
Right.
I sort of feel the same way about new business.
Okay.
It is about creating that oxygen for all change, funding the future transformation, funding the innovations, creating the space to flex and experiment. All of that is oriented toward growth. You are rarely going to transform an agency through your legacy clients. As strongly as I feel about the importance of organic growth and my orientation toward striking a healthy balance between new business and organic business, organic growth, you will transform an agency through new business. As I made the transition from leading growth to leading the agency, it's interesting the reframe on defining what a win is. Because when you're on the team and you're the captain of that team and you're ultimately going for the win at all costs, the win might not be actually being awarded the business. When you're the CEO, what change are you trying to affect? What is the byproduct of the pitch? What is the impact of that experience in developing the muscle that will ultimately yield the wins in the future? But it isn't must win this pitch at all costs. Let's cultivate that winning mindset and scale that intensity, that energy, that enthusiasm, that optimism, that possibility, and everything that makes pitching new business so magical and frustrating all at the same time, sort of shared by the masses and create a real growth culture. And I think there are so many people in my position as leaders of agencies that are out there chasing growth, chasing revenue as a means to feed their people, their culture. And what I've learned and what I can vouch for and is evidenced in our result is that when you flip it and you put your emphasis on creating these enabling conditions for a growth culture, growing human beings, and building meaningful brands simultaneously, the impact is exponential.
We are in a creative business, and in the creative business, we may have learned very well how to articulate a brand or a value proposition, but to articulate how to work and how to run a business is unique. And I think that from your website all the way to the way that you discuss the business and the way that you explain your reasons for doing what you're doing, it's very clear and very inspiring.
I
So
so appreciate you saying that. Setting an intention is one of the most powerful forces there is. It's like drawing a map to where you want to go. And, it started with setting the intention for the kind of company and culture that we wanted to create. And the byproduct of that is the growth.